I'm actually speechless when I think about this book. I did shed a few tears, in case you were wondering. How can their personal lives get even more conflicting? They're already dealing with like a literal war. If I was gonna tell you this thing that happened, you'd be like, yeah, that's not that big a deal. But it feels like a bigger deal in this book. Hi my loves, welcome back, welcome to our channel. Welcome if you guys are new. Today we have another installment in our favorite reading vlog series to film, and that is finishing every series I am in the middle of. I think I'm in the middle of about 24 series at the moment, which is insane. I will say that is counting series that are still getting continued. So series that like aren't fully released yet, but yeah, in the middle of a lot of series. But I thought it was time to do another reading vlog, continuing these series, getting through them. Whilst I don't know every series we're going to be reading this video, we're probably going to choose about 3. I thought the best series to start off with, because I literally like cannot stop thinking about this series, is the Greenbone Saga. So I read Jade War in my 24-hour readathon and absolutely fell in love with it. So I thought that we could continue onto, I said Jade War, didn't I? I meant Jade City. I thought we could continue on to Jade War today. I am so excited about this one. But this is an urban fantasy. I literally this consumed me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I loved our characters. I loved our plot. It was so refreshing. I haven't read anything like it before. And so I'm just going with that flow. We're going with those vibes, and we're going to go straight on to the second book. I would probably read every book in this series this episode if I could, but I don't have the third book with me yet. So we will be continuing to Jade War. I cannot wait. I am terrified because the ending of Jade City, it made me so nervous. It made me so nervous. So I am terrified to get into this, but this is the first one we're going to start the vlog with. I'm so sorry if you can hear the aircon in the background. It's going to have to be okay because it is currently 42 degrees. Just the aircon's staying on. But I do have an update for Jade War. I get really confused when all of like the books start with the same thing. Jade City, Jade War, Jade Legacy. It's a lot. I just couldn't stop myself from starting this book. I loved the first book so much more than I expected. So I kind of needed to jump into this one straight away. We are 150 pages in. So I feel like I have a good amount to update. For the first book, I talked about this in my 24-hour readathon, which is when I read the first one. It takes a bit to get your head around, in the sense that it's a very odd world to be set in. If you don't know what the Jade City Greenbone Saga is about, we're basically set in the city of Janloon, but it is basically an ordinary modern day world. We have airports, we have guns, we have taxis. We're living in a modern day urban city, except we also have this substance called Jade. Jade is basically like this substance that can enhance your mental, physical power. Not everyone can, I guess, like hold Jade. The way you hold it, by the way, is like literally through wearing it and having it on you, and therefore it affects you. Some people can't hold as much Jade as others. Some people can't even hold Jade. They're like the ordinary people. In the city of Janloon, there are 2 very powerful clans. One is the Mountain Clan, one is the Khal clan. The Khal clan is basically what we're following, what our main protagonists are from. It is like a family clan, and there is a lot of hostility between these 2 clans. Even more so when a drug is introduced that basically overpowers Jade. I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it. My brain is not working today. We have this amazing sense, I would say found family, but they are just actually family, like the Khal family. They have such great characters. They all have such strong presence. All of the siblings are so different, and I love their dynamic together. I will say Shay is like my favorite character so far. I absolutely love her. I think she is so cool, and we definitely got a good insight into her in the first book. So I'm very excited to see her and be back with her in this book. It is multiple POVs. We switch between different family members, even some different characters are thrown in there. It was really cool reading this back to back because the last page of Jade City and the first page of Jade War very much linked up. Like it felt like you were straight back into it. Even though I think about 18 months had passed, we were still following the same character we left off on in the first book, which is really nice. Like it's a really great segue into the next book. I am having the best time being back with our characters. I feel like so much has kind of gone wrong. Things kind of just keep going wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where this is gonna go. It's so intense. This is probably one of the most high stakes books I have read, or series I have read. It feels like anything could happen, especially because we're set in this kind of modern era, like this modern gang era, and there's guns and everything. Like that means like people can just get shot and stuff. Like that doesn't usually happen in a fantasy book, and they usually have swords. That's a little bit less fatal. Very fun having an urban fantasy setting. Because I haven't been reading a lot of urban fantasies last year at least, I feel like it's still such a new genre to me, and that means I don't know what to predict. I can't predict what is going to happen in this plot because I am not used to the progression of an urban fantasy. I'm very used to progressions of like romances and stuff, so I usually have an idea of what's going to happen. No idea. and I love it. So yeah, let's keep reading this and I will keep you updated. Oh my gosh. The fact that I'm filming this reading vlog in a heat wave. I have been going through so much water. It's literally been like 40 degrees for the past 3 days and it's so annoying. Anyway, we're not talking about the weather. We are talking about Jade War. It is the next day. When I tell you last night in bed after I updated you guys, I was reading. I had to literally reread a paragraph 3 separate times to make sure I read that right. It was written in a really clever way in the sense that you kind of had to like realize that what you were reading was real. It was kind of written subtly and plainly that it felt so out of character. And oh my God, it made me have a whole new perspective of our character. The character arcs that our characters, sorry, how many times can I say character, are going on in this book is absolutely crazy. Like they change and develop for better and for worse. I'm just gonna say so much in these books. It's actually crazy and so incredibly hard to keep track of. We've just had another major plot point for one of my favorite characters and I'm just like, how can their personal lives get even more conflicting? They're already dealing with like a literal war as well as a massive conflict between clans. Like they don't need this added pressure. Like, oh, I'm feeling for our characters big time. The writing in this is wonderful. I have been reading this so quickly when I can. I've been a bit busy the past few days, but like I've been smashing through what I can so that I can get to the point in my day where I can sit down and read. Like that's when you know a fantasy book is really incredibly good. Let me tell you, I already ordered the 3rd book in this series because I was like, there is no way I'm able to wait a long time for this and I want to have it on my shelf. So like maybe for next month's TBR or something, we can pick it. It's really nice to have a completed series that I can actually binge. We're also starting to get a little bit deeper into their beliefs and religion surrounding this culture, surrounding the families, and I'm really, really liking that. I love when religion plays a role in fantastical worlds, and especially when it's cultures and religions related to otherworldly religions or even just related to like the magic and community within these worlds, within the fictional worlds. I love it so much. I think it tells you so much about the world, so much about our characters, and so much about the author as well. Like to be able to create this incredible sense of culture is amazing in a book. Oh, it's so wonderful. Also the greenness, I can't explain it in a better way, but the greenness of this world. Like I just read a line where one of our characters was kneeling on a green prayer cushion and I feel like that's such a strong color. Like clearly I love green, okay, but like that's just such a strong color in my imagination, and I don't know, it really makes this world so vibrant in my little imagination. So I am literally loving this so much. I don't know what, like I feel like this is gonna leave on a cliffhanger. I'm really scared. For a page check, we are at page 278, so we're getting through it. We're over halfway through, I think you would say. I think I might actually go and read in a little coffee shop today. That was kind of one of my like New Year's resolutions. I want to get out and read more. I thought it might be fun before I head off to do a little what's in my bag, what I bring to the coffee shop. I used to love watching these videos when I was younger. I found them so much fun. I actually got gifted this bag by Teddy Blake, so a big thank you to Teddy Blake for gifting me this, and I have been using it non-stop for the past few weeks. I promise I wouldn't be recommending them if I didn't love their products so much, but until I got this bag I had like, I don't know, I had these in-between bags. I had very little bags, like my little handbags that literally fit purse, lip gloss and phone, or I have big tote bags, and I used to bring tote bags everywhere, but obviously tote bags can sometimes, they don't look great with outfits. Sometimes they do, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they don't. So this is a beautiful bag. In case you were wondering the model for this one, it is, let me get you the exact one, a Gigi Stampato, and it's the 11-inch in cream. I absolutely love it. I think it is the perfect size, and let me show you why I think it's the perfect size, because I am fitting a lot in this bag. And then I also just have my little jelly cat on there because I think it goes really well. When you open it up, look how much we fit in here. So one of the reasons I love Teddy Blake's products is they are real Italian leather. Not only are they premium Italian leather, they are actually made in Italy as well. So you know that you're getting like good quality bags that are gonna last you and you can like wear them, which is wonderful. They also have an amazing design team that works on new designs all the time. And I feel like their bags are really made for like convenience. Whilst looking beautiful, they also fit everything. They're really versatile. I think they're wonderful. So what I keep in here so easily, number one, we have of course Jade War. The fact that I can fit a book in a nice looking leather purse is a dream come true for me because this doesn't usually happen. I can also easily fit my Kindle, even my iPad fits in this, so that's wonderful. I then have my glasses. We have both my sunglasses because it is summer at the moment. And then we also have my reading glasses because your girl can't deal without both of them. This is my little bag that I keep my camera on, but obviously you're there at the moment, but I keep my little like vlog camera in this one. It looks so small, but it actually fits my camera really well, and it's just like a little protective layer to it. I always have multiple claw clips in my bag because I get overstimulated in the heat. If it's windy, I need to pin my hair back. So these are the 2 claw clips I have. I like this one, it's really fancy. And then just like this one as well. They're really useful. Again, it is summer, I need to be smelling nice all the time. So I have my Sol Janeiro, this is 62. This is my favorite scent of the Sol de Janeiro. I know that everyone has them, but like there's a reason. I also have lip gloss. Can't go anywhere without lip gloss. Also in here, there is an extender. I like to keep this in here because I don't really know where else to put it, but also like it's really great. So you can actually make this a crossbody bag, which I personally like. I know that some people don't prefer crossbody bags, but I am all about convenience. So I actually love a crossbody bag because it means I can carry everything a lot easier and I don't have to be carrying it with my hands all the time. Like it still looks so cute. I don't know why more people don't wear crossbody bags because I love them. And then of course we just have my phone in here as well. So that is everything I have at the moment. That is everything that's in my little bag. I love it so, so much. A big thank you to Teddy Blake for gifting me this. If you want to treat yourself, which I always think is important, to a Teddy Blake bag, or if you've just been eyeing them for a while, I do have a code that you can use. I'll leave it in my bio and I'll also put it on screen, and it can get you an extra 10% off, which is a nice little help. They're going to last so long because they're such good leather. They're going to be really durable, and it's like one of those investment pieces that you're going to have forever without being super, super, super expensive like a lot of designer bags. So yeah, thank you, Teddy Blake. Let's repack my bag and go to the coffee shop. I kind of keep thinking that this book just can't get better, and it just keeps getting better. One thing I'm really liking about this series is the fact that it takes place over such a long span of time. Like we have a massive timeline so far for this period. Like this book has kind of taken 2 years of the clan's time, and I feel like that makes so much more sense in the progression of things and the progression of politics and war and I don't know, our characters' lives and like their development. It makes it so much more realistic and believable, and I feel like it gives them more depth, makes them a little bit more real. It makes them a bit more flawed because it's like, yeah, you can't just fix your mistakes or have this incredible character arc in like a few weeks or a few months. It does take time, and it is really showing how our characters are developing, again, for better or for worse, throughout this time. We are getting really close to the end. We are at page 430, and I have posted like my first TikTok about this series now. I was kind of putting off posting. I wanted to just like let you guys know that I had suddenly read it. Now I am getting so many comments being like, the series just keeps getting better. And one of the TikToks I posted, I mentioned I had already like started Jade War, and they were like, yeah, it just keeps getting so much better. So I am so nervous as to how this is going to end. This is shaping up to be such a highly rated book, by the way. Fear I'm gonna have like a reading slump after finishing this because it's so good, and I don't have the 3rd book to go on to, so we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna read something else, but I do have a book in mind that we're going to read. I think we're gonna do a bit of a genre shift to help me. I feel so deeply for our characters. Shay has my heart. I love her. I said it in the beginning, I'll say it again. I love her so much. I think she has so much depth to her character. And I feel like you guys know by now, if the character doesn't have flaws, if they don't have something I can connect with or makes me see them as like a real human being, if they are too perfect or they just overcome these challenges really quickly, I don't see enough depth to them. I want quality characters, and sometimes that doesn't happen. A lot of the time in books, I will love the world, I'll love the plot, but I won't love the characters. This is giving me everything though. I am loving every single one of our characters. It's one of those books as well that just keeps me captivated the entire time. Like I've been editing all morning and I can't stop thinking about it. Like I can't stop thinking about where our characters are, what is going to happen next. Also, this world is just so vivid in my mind. Prompts to Fond du Lis for creating such like a well-imagined world. I have like the afternoon blocked out for reading. Oh my god, no way, no way, no. No. This book, I do not trust. Oh, thank god. She almost gave me a heart attack. Oh, the epilogue gets me every time. Okay, we just finished Jade War by Fond du Lis, and what an ending that was. I want to go on to the 3rd one. I haven't been like this with the series for a long time. Usually I'm like, yeah, okay, I need a little break and then I'll come back in strong. I'm just like, I need the next one. Don't worry, it's ordered, it's on the way, but it won't get here for a few days. So this series is making me feel is insane. I don't think I knew the definition of high stakes until I read this series, because oh my gosh, I never know if our characters are safe. I never know what is going to happen, and that ending leaves so many possibilities for the next book. But mainly I feel like what's really interesting with this series is I'm not like itching to read the next book for the plot. I'm itching to read it for the characters and where the characters are going to go, because the dynamics between them at the moment, like there are so many unresolved things and unspoken things between these characters, and the tension between them is insane, and I need to know where their relationships are going to go, or their family dynamics, or whatever. I need to know. The one thing that kind of made me a little bit, I don't know, maybe couldn't connect to it as much, and I said this earlier as a good thing, which it is a good thing, but also sometimes it makes it hard, having the pacing over such a long period of time. I do think it's really good for this story. I think it works really, really well. It's sometimes harder to connect. I don't know, I can't explain it, but it does throw me off at times. Maybe just because I'm not used to it, to be honest. Maybe that's the reason. The characters are so morally grey. If you love a morally grey character, you need to pick up this series, because oh my gosh. I also love a well thought out trilogy, and this feels so well developed. I hate when it feels like a trilogy is just like grasping to straws and getting made into a trilogy when it really could be a duology or even just a standalone. But this feels so right as a trilogy. To be fair, I almost feel like it could be a longer series. Like I kind of feel like there's so much going on that it could be longer. So I'll be really interested to see how the last one ends. The next book we're going to go on to is one that has been on my TBR for a while. It's kind of funny situation. I actually have it here in preparation, and that is Us Against You by Frederick Backman. This is the second book to the Beartown series, Beartown trilogy as well, actually. The story connected to this is I actually started this book towards the end of last year. I only got like 30-40 pages in though, and I was like, I don't think I can read this right now. I am in too fragile of a mindset, and my brain just can't take this on right now, because this does deal with some really, really intense topics, and I do think you have to be in the right headspace to be reading this. When you're in the right headspace, it hits incredibly hard, but sometimes it hits almost too hard. That was that situation. I was like, you know what, we're gonna put this down and come back to it. I will start it from the beginning, because obviously. But if you don't know what the Beartown series is, obviously by Frederick Backman, we are set in a really small town in Sweden, and the one thing that this town has, and like its kind of reputation lies on and its community relies on almost, is hockey. And the town is very proud of this team. They make the town proud. However, then an incident happens that divides the town into two sides, basically draws a line between the people, the type of people in this town. And it's a bit of a deep dive into our characters and how our characters react to this situation, their thought process going through it. Honestly, just a commentary on communities and society, to be honest. Especially growing up in a small town, I was like, yeah. And so this is a continuation of that series. We are following the same characters set in the same town. I'm not really sure what goes on in this book, and I want to go in blind like that. Frederick Backman has a wonderful way of writing, one that I feel like is completely unique to him. I've never read anything like it. I'm excited for this one. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited. We're going to start it tonight. It is the afternoon now, so we can read a bit tonight. We'll see how far we get in. I believe this is about 400 pages exactly. So a nice sized one, and then we also have the winners after this. So this is a second book, still got another book after this. Obviously heard incredible things about this one, so I'm very, very nervous, but I feel ready to go into it, and I think a change of genre after reading Jade will be good. We ended up reading a lot more than I thought I would last night. I'm at page 94, we just got to chapter 12. Oh my gosh, it is so straight into it. Like, it is so full on, and you don't get a moment to breathe, which I do kind of like. I kind of appreciate, because it feels more real that way. Like in real life, you don't get a moment to breathe, and these things that we're dealing with are very, like as I've said, very serious, very accurate representations. I'm very curious to know if like the actual writing style is that different in Swedish, because it's the writing style that really gets me for Frederick Backman books. He just says things as it is, but in yet a beautiful but like gut-wrenchingly honest way. I feel like that's the best way I can describe it. He just says it as it is, and sometimes people, and especially authors, I feel like can tiptoe around things that are a little bit more sensitive, and when he just says it, you're like, whew. That's a bit of a reality check, honestly. Honestly, not too much to say so far, but straight away, picking up where we left off in the last book, following the same characters, and I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I'm curious to see how this story continues, because right now it's a pretty simple premise. It's more just like looking at our characters and analyzing how they're responding to certain situations. So interested to see where it goes. Quite a dent into Beartown. I feel like I haven't been giving that many updates. We're at page 260. It feels hard to give updates because it's a very like, I don't know how to describe this, but I would say like almost low action book. A big thing did just happen, but like if I was going to tell you this thing that happened, you'd be like, yeah, that's not that big a deal. But it feels like a bigger deal in this book. Not the last one, that was a big deal, but like what just happened, it feels like such a big deal because you know your characters so well and you know the trickle down effect of this that is going to have on a small town community. But if I was to just tell you, you'd be like, that's not a big deal, Freya. So it's really hard to talk about it because I feel like I don't read books like this that much. I have grown such a strong connection with our characters, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit nervous going into this that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much because I read Beartown so long ago. I was kind of thinking that I might have forgotten about what happened, forgotten our characters. I am so easily remembering every single thing. Like I remembered the kind of main story progression, but I was kind of forgetting some side characters. But as soon as I saw their names, I was like, oh my God, I remember you. So that's great. It's kind of heartbreaking to read about this, to be honest. This series is so hard to recommend because I'm like, yeah, read it. It's amazing. But also you're gonna have your heart broken multiple times. Like a chapter, multiple times a chapter. So it's quite hard in that sense to recommend it. But I've actually had to read other books, well, one other book whilst I was reading this because I got into bed the other night and I picked this book up and I was like almost crying in bed and I was like, I don't want to go to bed thinking about this. Like this is causing me to think so much and just think about the fact that this does happen in real life and like situations I know that are similar to that. Like it got my brain ticking and I was like, I cannot be reading this every night before I go to bed because I read every single night before I go to bed. So I picked up another fun fantasy romance and read that in the meantime. But now we're back exclusively reading this and we only have about 150 pages left. So I think we could probably finish this today or tomorrow. Last night I sat down and read 100 pages without even a second thought. It's so weirdly consuming. Like you wouldn't think it's that consuming because it's so different to what I read usually. It's literally just a contemporary fiction. We're just following these characters in this small town surrounding these small little trickle down effects of events. And yet I was absolutely consumed. I was so immersed in it, I couldn't stop reading. I feel like there is a character for everyone, or at least when I was reading this, I was kind of like, you remind me so much of this person I know in real life and you remind me of somebody in my past. Like there's characters that just kind of hauntingly remind you of people you know. And I feel like this book, as I've said before, Frederick Backman just says it as it is, but it's truly just like a heartbreaking story to read, but also really, really important stuff, like really important issues that I don't think have nearly enough discussion around. Like this should be talked about on a much broader scale, to be honest. I don't know what else to say, guys. I have so much to say, but I can't say anything without spoiling it. Yeah, so I don't know. It's also when like our characters do something, you're kind of to the point where you know them so well. Like it feels like you know them to their core. So when they do something, you just like, it just breaks your heart a little bit more, or you understand when something happens, how this will affect the other character. You're in the heads of so many other characters. That's the other crazy thing. This has a very interesting way of writing and like switching perspectives. You'll be midway through a page and then suddenly we're in a different character's perspective, and the only reason you'll like know is through a paragraph break like this or something. Like that might be a new perspective to that. That's something you kind of get used to in the first book though, so it kind of hasn't really, I don't know, made a difference for me reading this one because I read the first book like that. But I remember when I was reading the first book, I was there going, I cannot keep track of all these different characters and the crazy amount of perspectives we have, because I think we'd have about, I don't know, 10 plus perspectives, but it makes for such a deep understanding of our community. Wish me luck, okay? We're gonna try and finish it today or tomorrow. So I finished this last night. I decided it was a good idea to continue reading this devastating book. Guys, this is a 5-star. This is so easily a 5-star. I didn't know it was possible to feel these emotions from a book until I picked up this series. In no way could I have seen that ending, all the last few events happening. I'm actually speechless when I think about this book. I did shed a few tears, in case you were wondering. Oh my gosh, I have grown to like our characters so much and grown to like really accept them and love them in spite of their flaws, or even because of the flaws. In this one, we really got to know all sides of some of our characters that were very much background characters in the first book, or not, I don't know, maybe not background characters, maybe that's not the best word for it, more like characters that we didn't really get to see in their heads and how their brain works. But that was not the case in this book. We really delve into it. We got to know so many more characters, some of the characters that I loved, and gonna be one of those books that every time I think of it, I just feel like this is another series that I think everyone could read, anyone could read, even if you haven't read a book, which I'm not really sure why you're watching this video if you don't read books, but great, hi, nice to have you here. But even if you haven't picked up a book in the years and years and years, I feel like anyone could pick up this book. It's definitely not going to be one of those books that like you cannot put down because the story is just so intriguing. It's one of those books that you can't put down because you're so attached to it, and it definitely takes a bit. Like I remember reading the first book, it took me, I would say, a good like half the book to be really invested in what was going on, but more just invested in our characters and wanting to see where this was going to go. But I think it's a series that just brings to light so many really, really important things, as I've said so many times, and things that need to be talked about more, and I think reading this series is a really good place to start. So yeah, I would definitely be continuing this series. This is one that I'm going to seriously continue because oh my gosh, hopefully we only have one more book. I just got it in the mail though the other day. It is a thick book. It is such a thick book. So that'll be interesting. I don't know what's going to go on in that book. That book is called The Winners. I think the next book we're going to do is a little bit of a change of pace because I have just had two very devastating books in different ways, very high stakes books in different ways, read back to back. So we're going to go really simple now and we're going to read Kaladoras, I think it's called, which is the final book in the Madoran Chronicles. It's actually a little novella. I think it's about 250 pages, but it is by Lynette Noni. I could go and grab it, but I will soon, I promise. Which, if you know, Lynette Noni is an author I really, really love. She's actually an Australian author, which is really cool. I'm sure you guys have seen me reading the Madoran Chronicles throughout this like finishing series, but I didn't realize there were actually two novellas that I hadn't read. So I read We Three Heroes, I think in the last episode of this series, and then in this one, I thought I can finish it. I can finally finish the series. I kind of like bittersweet moment. I have to say goodbye to my favorite characters. This 200-page novella is all I have left of my favorite characters, and I'm really sad about that. If you don't know what this series is about, I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of YA fantasy, we are set at a magic school, so I mean, instantly a trope I love, but we are following Alex, who doesn't realize she has magical abilities. She kind of accidentally stumbles into this magic school. And from there, she kind of goes through these trials and tribulations, makes some really great friends. There's an amazing sense of found family in it. Our characters honestly quite detailed for YA series. It's a very nostalgic series for me though. Like I feel like if I read this when I was young, it would have absolutely consumed me. Kind of feels a little bit Harry Potter-ish, but yeah, it does have a very, very YA feel about it, but in the sense that it feels so nostalgic and wholesome and comforting. So I'll be going on to that one next. I think it'll be a good change of pace. I think it's what my brain needs. Maybe we'll end this video on a like nice happy note, not me going, what just happened? What did I just read? So yeah, hopefully that'll be a good place to go next. That's all I have for now, but let's go read Kaladoras. This year I really truly do want to make a conscious effort on trying to read more novellas. Novellas that are in the series I'm reading. Just whenever I have the chance, I want to take my opportunities to read novellas because I find them so fun. Honestly, this is the perfect read after Beartown. Like after such a heavy book and wanting to start something, you know, after I just finished it today. Like I haven't really processed much of what just went on in there. But after finishing that, I'm like, I just need something really quick and easy, and going into something where you already know all of your characters, you love all of your characters. It's just a really fun time. We're at page 80 now, so like almost halfway through already. Not really, but close. It's like 200 pages, so we'll probably finish it tonight. But what I'm gathering is that this is split into different years. This is like split over I think 3, maybe 4 years. I'm not entirely sure. By splitting it into separate parts, and each part is a different Kaladoras, which is like this holiday in the world of Freya. I always forget this world, like the magical world is called Freya. I love that so much. I never used to find my name in books when I was younger, so when it pops up, I get so excited. But yeah, Kaladoras comes around once every year. It's like this holiday that everyone celebrates, and there have kind of been these really beautiful things happening in the past 2 years, but also some more action and stuff that I really wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting this to be a high action book, and it's not like high action, but there's definitely a bit going on, more than I would have thought. So this is really surprising me. I'm definitely going to keep reading. Unlike We Three Heroes, which is the other novella for this series and was separated into the different perspectives of our characters, like of the kind of sidekick characters, this is just jumping around perspectives. We are getting a lot of different perspectives. Some people I didn't expect to be seeing, honestly. I kind of expected to just be sticking to our main cast, but we've got some people I didn't expect in here. I'm going to keep reading now. I'll give you another little update, and then yeah, we'll see where we go. I love our characters so much. I always forget how much I love daylight savings until it's daylight savings and it's still light outside right now and it's 9 o'clock at night. Like, I love that. I will be going to bed soonish because I am a grandma and go to sleep super early. But we are at page 140. It's just such an easy read. Like, this is literally just such a fun, easy read. Although, where is this action coming from? Where is this action coming from? I genuinely like wasn't expecting this and I'm kind of loving it. I literally want to give our characters the biggest hug, and when these massive milestones are happening in their lives, good ones, like this isn't the action I'm talking about, this is like personal development for our characters, and when these milestones are happening to our characters, it's like a big hug on my heart. I literally love them so much. I just am so happy for them. I feel like this is a little happily ever after kind of story because Lynette Noni has said that Alex's story is finished, which kind of is sad. Alex is our main protagonist in the Akane series. This series is a really, really YA feeling series. Every time I pick it up, I'm reminded of that. It's written for a very young audience, but I don't think that's saying that we can't enjoy it. Like, I think you can still read a fun YA book and have a really great time and still connect to your characters. Honestly, it's a really nice break from more intense high fantasy or more intense books like Frederick Backman. It's a really nice change of pace and it's just really like wholesome, honestly. It's so wholesome. I used to read so many books like this when I was younger and that's what made me fall in love with reading. So I feel like going back to my roots, going back to like very YA fantasy feels really nostalgic and very like welcoming and comforting almost. It's like a comfort thing. It's like instead of watching your favorite TV show over and over again, you read YA fantasy. That's how I feel about it anyway. Kind of curious to how this is gonna end though. Like, we're definitely jumping a lot of perspectives and I don't really see a theme. I'm kind of curious. I guess I'll update you in the morning when I've read more, but wasn't expecting this. So last night, as expected, we did end up finishing Kaladoras because it is such a cute little book. It was so easy to read. Honestly, the perfect read for after this week of reading. Honestly, this was just really sweet. I wasn't expecting that ending. Like, are we gonna get more books in this series? Maybe not following our main characters, but I'm thinking there's a possibility of getting spin-offs, maybe, which I'd be like over the moon about. I don't know if that's like a known fact and I was just like on the outs for that and only just realized it, but like that's really exciting to me because I really like this world. I think it's just a really magical, whimsical world and I love to immerse myself in worlds like that. Like, are you serious? They're so much fun. So it did take place over multiple years, multiple Kaladoras holidays. Every year kind of something big happened around Kaladoras, whether it was a big happy event, whether it was like it kind of started with their graduation and just consecutively went throughout the years, whether it was certain characters we were following that we didn't think we would be following, getting new perspectives, getting new point of views, getting characters introduced that I didn't think had a very big role in this. So it was actually really fun. It was a really fun novella to read, but of course it is a 200-page novella, so I can't say too much. Lynette Noni's writing is also really easy to read. Like, honestly, if you need a series to just like immerse yourself in and maybe get out of a reading slump or something, I'd pick up any Lynette Noni series. I love the Prison Healer as well. They're really fun, whimsical worlds to get immersed in, and I think they get you out of a book slump really easily. So yeah, I'd recommend if you need. I have no idea what I'll rate this one. I find it really difficult to rate novellas because I'm like, they're really short. So I don't know, let me sit with it for a little bit. But yeah, that means we have completely finished the Madoran Chronicles. I have no novellas left in this series. I have finished everything, but you know, that is the aim of this series, to continue ticking off books. I guess that brings us to the end of today's video. What an emotional whirlwind of a video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed seeing me get crazy over books, and I'm super excited to continue this series in 2026, continue this video series. I hope you guys had fun watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you've watched till the end, thank you so much. You truly mean the absolute world to me to watching to the end. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.